everyone, I'm Nina Zeta with Sidewalker Daily, and in today's video, we're going to talk about imposter syndrome and how to overcome it. So let's start at the very beginning with a definition. So imposter syndrome is this internalized fear of being exposed as a fraud. It's basically no matter how hard you work or how much effort you put in, you never attribute your success to talent or skill. You always attribute it to, things like, well, I worked really, really hard, or I put a lot of time into it, or the timing was good, or there's really good luck. You don't really ever believe it's because of you. It's really tied to feeling like a fraud, feeling like you're going to be exposed, lots of feelings of self-doubt, and it's this internalized failure, to accept success. Like we can't accept success, People that are suffering with imposter syndrome feel exactly like an imposter. They don't feel good about the work and the product that they do because they don't see it as part of them. Now, some questions you might ask yourself to see, do I have imposter syndrome? Do you agonize over every small detail in your work? Do you attribute your success to good luck or timing? You believe things like, well, if I can do it, anybody can, doesn't feel like you're good. It's just, well, whatever. It's like, I did it, so anyone else can. Have you ever felt that way? Or, when you do succeed, do you feel like these feelings of oh, I fooled them again? Or, I feel like they're going to find out that I'm actually just nobody behind the curtain. If you've ever had those sort of feelings, then you may be going through this horrible syndrome that exists so much in our society. I work with tons of influencers and content creators and small businesses. I also work with brands and their consulting, but I'm going to refer to my influencer clients in this video because I cannot tell you the amount of influencers and content creators, particularly women. I work with both men and women, but I see this a lot in my female clients with these feelings of self-doubt, with these feelings of not feeling successful or not being proud of their successes. And it's almost like, that beautiful girl in high school and you're like, how is she not so confident, and then you see someone else that maybe isn't stereotypically what you would consider beautiful by whatever stupid standards, and they're really feel like they have it going on. It's exactly that. I work with these what you would think is super successful influencers with big numbers and big impressions and all that, and they still have these feelings of self-doubt, confidence issues, and pushing forward. And this is a very I want to say a big issue in our industry, and it's not talked about enough. And I feel like there's reasons that it's not talked about enough, but for this video, I just want to give some tips to the people that I work with that are watching this on how to overcome imposter syndrome. And I also want to let you guys know this, that no matter who you are, what level you're at in your career, it happens to all of us. It's even happened to me. I've gotten invited to projects with people that I really admire, and then I have that voice in the back of my head why would they invite me? What is it about me that, what if they don't think I'm good enough? Or what if, I just got lucky getting invited to this workshop or this panel or whatever it is. And then no, I have to remind myself, I've worked on campaigns, manage $100,000 budgets. I have tons of experience in this space. I've worked with hundreds of creators, I have my MBA, all these things. So my first tip is leading into this is create a brag sheet. Now, I know that might sound weird, but sometimes when you're having these feelings of self-doubt or feeling like an imposter, you just need to look and see what you've done. Sometimes just writing it out and seeing those numbers or seeing, your accomplishments will help you feel better. That's exactly what that brag sheet is, right? So when I've gotten invited to things and feel like, well, maybe I'm not good enough for this and that, and then I look at my brag sheet and I'm like, hell yeah, I am. I have tons of experience, and I think that that's really helped. I didn't realize that it was linked to imposter syndrome, but I do think that having some sort of visual, thing to look at as a reference point to your accomplishments helps. And I also noticed that people, when they start writing that brag sheet, that feeling of imposter syndrome may come up. I was working with someone recently on their LinkedIn profile, and they were like, oh my God, I put all this stuff up. I kind of felt this sense of imposter, but it's everything they wrote was true. Everything that she wrote on her LinkedIn profile was true. She was not making any of it up. So you are not an imposter. You are actually just a really kick-ass human and you need to see it. My second tip for overcoming imposter syndrome is definitely join some sort of support group, some sort of community. Whatever industry you're in, find like-minded people to chat with. Sidewalker Daily, we started off as a community, albeit it was a travel community on Instagram, and now we've transitioned more into like a creator community. The community space that we have in our group coaching, in our group WhatsApps, and all the community pieces of our community really help people suffer with imposter syndrome, because you have this network of like internal cheerleaders, so to speak, always like pushing you and helping you understand like how awesome you are and giving you a different perspective, a true perspective, one that isn't rooted in jealousy or, these sort of group dynamics help people find not only their creativity, but their confidence. So definitely join a support group, whichever industry you're in. And if you happen to be a creator or an influencer or that, I will leave a link below on ways that you can join the Sidewalker community so we can help you through that. My third tip, and this is like a personal tip that helps me whenever I feel a certain way, or if I'm about to go on stage or I'm on a big conference or panel or even a workshop. I've had workshops where I've talked to like hundreds of people, and it's normal to have those feelings of self-doubt anytime creep in. So my third tip is finding a hype routine. Now you may be like, what are you talking about? So before I do anything that's like a little bit nerve-wracking or something that maybe, those feelings of self-doubt creep in, my hype routine is literally like picking some really good music, not focusing on the work, and just hyping myself by myself. It usually is in, maybe in my bathroom while I'm getting ready, just putting on some makeup, listening to music, hyping myself so I can like really feel good. It's maybe just putting in your AirPods or your headphones, disconnecting from your work and getting in that mindset and that groove to be like, you know what, I can kill it. I'm confident in my work, and my success is not due to luck. It's due to skill, actual skill. And that always helps me get in a really good mindset. My fourth tip, and I freaking love this tip, I did it this morning actually, is unfollow people that trigger you. I think a lot of times imposter syndrome can come through comparison, and especially in social media, we see everyone posting and everyone happy. And I think TikTok has done like a good job of kind of, making people human again. And I think on Instagram, there's a lot more feelings of, I don't want to say like resentment, but like stress, I guess, associated with the platform at times when it comes with comparison. So if you unfollow someone that triggers you, it could help with that imposter feeling. It can help just not have those triggers that are going to take you to that place that you don't want to go. So by unfollowing people, you're actually doing your little mental health spirit a big favor. So go ahead and do it. I promise you. Just unfollow anyone that triggers you or makes you feel less. And my fifth tip, which is really not like a tip, but more like, I guess, like an overall mindset, is that no one knows what they're doing, okay? Even though you may feel like you don't know what you're doing, no one else really knows what they're doing. Everyone is just figuring it out, building the plane while flying it. That should give you a sense of relief. It's about experience, and the more experience you have, the more confident you'll start to feel in whichever role it is that you're in. So I hope this video helped you guys iron out, those feelings of imposter syndrome, help you, give you some tips to overcome them. If you liked this video, make sure you give it a like and a subscribe to our channel. Comment below, let me know what tips you like, which ones you didn't, if you have any of your own, and I will see you in the next video.